Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, here we are. It's Thursday. It's Zodiac Thursday. That's right. And I put up horoscopes late last night for today, so I got them out a little late, but hopefully you've got your horoscope. If you haven't seen your horoscope for today, check out the video in the queue right before this one, and you can get your horoscopes for Thursday. What's it, February 16th? 17th? What's today? 16th. I can't keep the days straight. Well, anyways, here we are. Well, normally on Zodiac Thursday, we talk about some fascinating aspect in astrology, some mystical sign in the heavens. And we're going to do that again next week. But today I just felt like doing something really different. Psychic Bob works awful hard. I know everybody thinks the life of a psychic is cushy, but really it's a lot of work putting out 2 videos a day and doing full-time readings. So I love what I do. I'm not complaining. But every now and then I just have to take a break and be good to myself. I've had a lot of clients say to me, Psychic Bob, what do you do for you? You always work for everybody else. And I thought, you know what? I haven't really treated myself to anything special lately. So I decided just to go and be totally indulgent and go on a shopping spree. I know I shouldn't spend money frivolously, but sometimes you just got to do it. I mean, that's just the way it is. Well, I went to Louis Vuitton recently, and I love Louis Vuitton. And I was decided, I walk everywhere and I carry a bag. In fact, let me show you my bag that I carry every day. This is my just standard old bag. I carry it with me. I put my books in it and bus schedules and laptop. And it's okay. It's a practical bag. But sometimes I just want to be rid of it. I want something a little smaller, a little lighter, and a little more luxurious. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Louis Vuitton and see about a bag. I went to Louis Vuitton, looked around. They have beautiful bags. And I thought, well, it's a lot of money because a brand new Vuitton is about $1,000, at least the model that I wanted. And I said, well, let me think about it. So I talked to one of my neighbors. I said, I'm really on the fence about spending this much money. I really shouldn't blow money like that, but I really want a Louis Vuitton. And my neighbor actually is in the antiques business. And she said to me, Bob, why don't you buy a vintage Louis Vuitton? I said, vintage Louis Vuitton? She said, yeah. She said, if you buy vintage, you can first of all find out if you like Louis Vuitton, you like carrying it every day, and you can get a feel for what works for you. And it will not be nearly as expensive as a brand new one. And then if you really love it, then later on you can invest in a very brand new one. I thought this was a brilliant idea. Well, she gave me some sites, and I looked up some sites, which I'll put links below, for vintage Vuittons. Well, even the vintage ones cost a few $100s. Now, a new one is like $1,000, but you can get a good used one for around $300, which is still a lot of money, but it's only 1/3 of the cost. I mean, that's a big savings between $300 and $1,000. Well, guess what happened? Psychic Bob had luck. I found an amazing Louis Vuitton bag. And I thought I would show it to you here. So here is my new vintage Louis Vuitton bag. Isn't this great? This is the Speedy. And this is called the Speedy 35. Okay, now there are different speeds. There are 4 sizes. And this is a classic bag. This bag was designed by Louis Vuitton in the 1930s. And has been in production ever since and is still in production today. My bag actually dates from 1983, and I'll show you that in a little while, how we determine that. But this is the classic iconic Speedy. Now, they have sizes. This is called 35 because it measures 35 centimeters down the length, okay? Now, there are 4 sizes. There's the Speedy 25, which is smaller, the Speedy 30, which is just a little smaller. This is the 35, and then there's one slightly larger, which is the Speedy 40. And they're all wonderful bags. But I decided on the 35 because I wanted something a little smaller than my briefcase, okay? But yet still roomy enough I could get a good amount of stuff in it. And so I looked at the 40. It's just a little too big for my taste for an everyday bag. And since I wanted to go a little smaller, this is great because it just fits perfectly. And the wonderful thing about the Speedies is that I believe that this bag of Louis Vuitton is unisex. A guy can carry it as well as a girl. It's like a miniature duffel bag, okay? Now, don't worry about the wrinkles on it. This is actually common. For those of you who have owned Louis Vuitton before, you'll know that when they ship these to you, they're folded up. They fold flat. And it takes a few days, but eventually in just a few days, the wrinkles will literally all be gone. It's just been out since last night, and it's already significantly smoothed out. So don't worry, it won't look like this forever. But the Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 is a classic bag, and I am so thankful I bought it. And just to show you, I'll give you a little tour of the bag. This is made in what they call the Monogram Canvas. This is Louis Vuitton's famous canvas. It dates to around 1896, I believe. These bags are very solid. Now you'll notice the monograms here. It says the LV. That's a very famous sign of Louis Vuitton. And if you look on the other side of the bag, the LVs are upside down. Now, the first time I ever saw a Louis Vuitton bag, I thought, God, I'm not going to spend the money on that. It's defective. No, no, no. This is actually good engineering, because what they've done is they've taken the canvas and they've kept it in one solid piece. And so as you'll see, the monogram travels LV, 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 LV all the way around the bag. The nice thing about these bags is there is no seam at the bottom. A lot of purses, bags, travel bags have a seam in the bottom, which means every time they wear, they break, they tear. These bags are so solid. This bag, as I said, dates from January of 1983. Now, as you can see, the leather is worn. It's dark. I actually like the old look. I've seen videos on YouTube about restoring the handles. I actually was going to do a restoration on this bag to make it look really new. But then I decided I like the character. I like kind of the dark look. So I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. Okay. And you'll notice here this has the zipper pull. Now, this one didn't come with the lock. As I said, it's vintage, so not everything is here. But on the newer ones, they have a little gold, what's a brass lock, Louis Vuitton lock, and then you can lock the bag so nobody can unzip it. So if you're traveling, that's a good thing to have so people can't slip in your bag. You'll notice it has leather piping on the edges. Now the leather piping on this is a little rough. I'm going to try to get some saddle soap and clean it up a little bit, just to kind of smooth it out. But I tell you, these bags are great. I have some other Louis Vuitton stuff, but I've never had a Speedy bag, and I've always wanted one. So now I got one, and it's very, very solid. Now, let me show you. Let me show you, before I do show you what's inside the bag. This bag, you can see, just to give you a sense of the size, they're very lightweight. And so it's a larger bag. I think this size of bag 35 is good for men, because I think if you get a bag that's too small, it looks like a purse. And this is something I think for men that really looks good with men. Now, they do make a model in this. It's called the Bandouliere, which is, it has leather on the side that hooks a strap on and leather on the other side. I didn't find a Bandouliere model. I haven't found one. They're hard to get. But I prefer the look of just the plain without the extra leather on it. I think it looks more classy. So what I did is I dug out one of my straps. Now you can buy Louis Vuitton straps. Now I know that the Louis Vuitton fans out there, some of you are going to think I'm committing a sin. But I have to be honest, I've seen this done so many times over the years. People just put a strap on one handle on one side, and then they hook it on the opposite handle on the back side. And yeah, they say you're not supposed to do this, but I figured, you know what? I've seen it done for years. I do it. So this is what you can do. As I said, I may eventually get a Louis Vuitton strap, but for right now, a simple black strap I think works well with this bag. And they do actually make a Louis Vuitton black strap that has leather on it. But You know, this is just an old black strap that I had from another bag, and I don't really think it looks bad with it. So I'm going to stay with this strap here. But I wanted to come and show you guys my Louis Vuitton. Now, if you want to take a look on the inside, I actually have this bag right now stuffed because I'm keeping it full to keep the wrinkles out. But inside it, it's a really big bag. I have a bunch of bubble wrap in here. Giorgio towel. But as you can see, the inside of the bag, I don't know if you can see this, oops, there's some more wrap, is a very large interior. Now, when I got this, I was a little concerned because normally there is a pocket on the bags on this side. There's a little pouch here with a pocket. I didn't get this, but I found out, and I confirmed it through Louis Vuitton, that in this year, these models did not have the pouches. So from the 1970s up into the 1990s, the Louis Vuitton did not have an interior pouch. The interior of the bag is done in a kind of a cotton sort of canvas, and it's got the leather tabs here on each side. And this one actually has a name in front of it. The dealer who sold it to me explained to me that this bag was from Japan, and a lot of times the people would use these as travel bags. And they would put their name on the inside for identification. And as you see, this one says Oyaizu. Oyaizu, I think it's a Japanese name. It's got brass hardware on the inside. Now, I'm going to clean the brass actually because I don't want that to corrode. It is actually normal for it to corrode. Don't worry, it won't hurt anything. But I'm going to clean it up soon. And I'll show you guys my cleaning and when I do a little bit of restoration on this. Here's the code. Now, inside Vuitton's, on one of the tabs, there will be a date code. Now, it's hard to see in this video, but this one actually says, hold on a second, I can't read it. 831, okay? 831. And what that means is this bag was made in January of '83. The first two digits are the year, and the third digit is the month. So this was made in January of 1983. And you know, I love that. I love that I have a bag from the 80s, because you guys know I'm a total 80s freak. I love the 80s. I lived through the 80s. And when I was in high school in '83, and I remember seeing people with these bags. So, and I used to always think they're so cool looking. And I used to go to Louis Vuitton and dream. You know, when you're 15, you can't afford one of these. At least I couldn't. Maybe some kids can, but I couldn't. And so it's kind of cool that I have a bag from that era, which I absolutely love. So anyways, this bag is giant. You can get a lot of stuff in it. So I'm putting these towels down in here. I'm going to put hold on, let me just get this in here. When you first get a bag, if you get one of these, it's good to let it, you know, kind of stretch out. As I said, they usually ship them folded flat. They will have wrinkles, but don't panic because that's not going to hurt the bag. It's just part of the settling in process. So I've got this down in here, and you see I got all that in, and then I'll just zip it up. I see, and we're good to go. Oops, I got to puff out that corner's a little puffed in. But you know, you'll have to stretch your bag out and just get it kind of unwrinkled, which takes a few days. But I tell you, I am so excited. I love this bag already. I can tell you the amazing thing is when you see somebody carrying one of these, they look really heavy. I mean, they're thick, solid bags, but they're amazingly lightweight. I'm amazed how light it feels to actually carry it. So that's kind of a nice surprise. So anyways, there is my new vintage Louis Vuitton. Also, one of the things you can get for this, which I didn't say, is they have a thing called a base shaper, and it's a kind of a piece of plastic. It's cut to fit in the bottom of these bags, and they're custom made for the bags. And what they do is they help hold the form. So the base, these bags as they get heavy, they tend to sag. And having a base shaper will keep it standing upright and keep it more solid. So I bought a base keeper, or base holder basically, to help base shaper. That's the word. I can't talk today. I got a base shaper for this bag to help it to stay in shape. So anyways, guys, there is my new Louis Vuitton bag. I thought you'd like to see it. Anyways, I'm so enjoying being here with you guys. Listen, I want to run by you another idea. I'm thinking about on Zodiac Thursdays, depending on if you want to do it, allowing people to write in and ask a question. Now, this would be a question probably related to timing or dates and things like this. So, like, for example, if you wanted to write in, you said, "Dear Bob, I have a job interview scheduled on Thursday, June 20th. You know, is that a good day for an interview?" Well, I thought on Zodiac Thursday we could look at that question from an astrology viewpoint. So what I could do is I'll choose a letter and I'll run the chart for whatever events you want to look at, and then we'll talk about your situation and the events around that day astrologically. Would you guys like to do that? Would you be interested in that? Anyways, tell me in the box below. Well, actually, I got a lot of questions. I want to hear from y'all. First of all, what do you think of my Louis Vuitton bag? Okay. 2, have you ever owned a Louis Vuitton bag? What's been your experience with Louis Vuitton? I'd love to hear about that. And 3, tell me if you want to have on Zodiac Thursday that I answer psychic questions from an astrology viewpoint. Let me know if you want to do that. Well, listen, guys, you're the best. I love you. I send you my blessings. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. Be back here later. We're going to have horoscopes for tomorrow, for Friday. And I'll see you back here then. In the meantime, like this video, favorite it, share with your friends. And if you can, hit subscribe. Be part of our channel. We'll see you back here later. Blessed be.